Anyway, the poem that I'm going to tell you now was inspired by a man who wore a great big buckle, and the title of this story is Beneath My Buckle, and it's a true story. Actually, two true stories joined together. Now, this story really happened, and it's true from start to end. A hunting trip was planned for fall. 2 neighbors and a friend. The first was Jim, the second Joe, the third they knew as Fred. Fred's doc said, "You better watch yourself. You could come back dead. Be mindful of that ticker beating weakly in your chest. Exertion from such trips as these could put it to the test." Oh, those hills were steep, thick with brush and windfalls all around. So navigating there was hard because trails could not be found. Then sure enough, Fred fell to earth. His heart had just give out. Happened kind of sudden like, no time to yell or shout. They carried Fred on back to camp, laid him out real straight, then hurried in to find the sheriff. Didn't hesitate. The sheriff said, "Well, bring him in. I don't suspect foul play, but there's no one to help you out. You're on your own today." While back at camp, neat canvas tarp secured with nylon cord lay Fred with hard and stiffened joints, unyielding as the board, so he was not cooperating with the 2 that day. But they were told to bring him back. Well, they'd have to find a way. So one would push, the other pull. Gosh, that job was tough. To show respect the way they ought, they dare not be too rough. Oh, they lost their footing, lost their grip, and Fred, yeah, they lost him too. By now, he showed some signs of wear, and they weren't nearly through. When finally Fred was loaded up atop their old pack horse, they took some time to plan which route would make the better course. Now the horse was headed north to south, and though they tried their best, no matter what they did with Fred, he balanced east to west. Now the way had narrowed up real bad with trees on either side. Oh, the horse was plenty thin enough, but Fred was way too wide. Like tom-toms beaten from afar, his head thumped on the trees, dislodging birds and squirrels and such, and knocking off some leaves. Oh, we can't have this. It just ain't right. Let's tie him to one side and see if we can bring some comfort to his final ride. They chose the near side, strapped him tight, but still it didn't work. The horse could smell the scent of death. He lunged and ran berserk, crashing through the timber, jumping o'er each stream, bouncing off the rocks and boulders, made the 2 men scream, 'cause ropes that tethered Fred came loose and dropped him to the dirt. Oh, he bounced real good for being dead. Well, at least it shouldn't hurt. This process seems like it's too hard, so let's make us a pact. The next one dies out on the trail will bend, and that's a fact. We'll shape his body like a horseshoe. It will fit real tight around the horse and spare us from a future similar plight. Cremation is another plan deserving of our thought. A viable alternative to townside burial plot. I got an idea really good. We'll build a fire bright and cremate he who dies out here. We'll do it all upright. We'll spread his ashes in the hills among the trees and brush, and in that way eliminate these mishaps and this fuss. That sounds okay, his pal agreed. Should it be you or me, we'll burn the next who dies out here and do it cheerfully. But Jim was thinking, on this plan, and asked the one called Joe, well, just what is you, and what is wood, and how am I to know? With careful thought, Joe thus replied amid a hearty chuckle, those ashes you can bet are mine, lie just beneath my buckle. Thanks, folks. Thanks very much.